What is up, guys? This is Mark with the Mic, and this is another Shell Shock podcast by Red Cycling Inc. I'm Mark the Mic, and joined by Tenacious T.
I am in the building.
In another building.
I'm in a different building.
Yeah.
I'm in a building outside of the building.
Yeah, exactly. We are back with a Shell Shock podcast, and today's cast we are reviewing or giving our verdict of season 2 of the 1987's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the cartoon series. 12 episodes aired 1988, and yeah, I didn't even know. You know what shocked me is the fact that 87 it started, and I still can't get over that it started in 87.
I am shocked at that because I was 1 year old when it started.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? I remember it more in the 90s than I ever remembered it.
Yeah. But then again, during the 90s, it was, one, it was syndicated, and then two, they were showing new episodes. So at least you had a little bit of both. So you can see the repeats and you see the new episodes. But nowadays, you could just buy a whole box set and watch the whole thing. And now, before, we couldn't even get that.
Yeah, I mean, I bought the second season years ago on DVD.
Yeah.
Just for the hell of it, because it was like $3 or something like that. It was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
It was like $3, and I got the whole second season. Now I have to go and buy every other season.
Yeah, I just did the box set because I think it was $30 in Walmart.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
So I was like, all right, I could do this.
How many seasons is it?
Oh God, it's like 8 seasons.
8 seasons, $30. That's you already got.
Yeah, you have like
plus,
10. It's like 12 discs.
Us being who we are, we'll get use out of that throughout the years. It ain't gonna be the one and only time that we watch this.
Well, we're watching. We're going through the seasons now, so we're at season 2, and I just honestly, the first 2 discs is season 1 to season 2. The rest is like season 3. I think that's 3 discs. Season 4 is 3 discs. Season 5 is 3 discs.
That's crazy.
So it's like we're in the good stage is when they're short, but they're fun. So soon enough, it's gonna be a lot. I know it's gonna be a lot. This season itself, though, I actually really enjoyed. I actually liked the storyline they actually had. Like the whole season had a full storyline.
Yeah. Well, it was good to have more than 5 episodes. You know what I mean? Like the first one, I felt like was just a trial run to see if it would pop with the kids.
Yeah.
And it obviously did.
Yeah, 100%. So the first season was just a test run. So basically, they only had 5 episodes. This one came out not that far off of the first season. So it came out maybe like a couple months after the first season aired. So basically, they had this shit ready to go. They're like, all right, kids like it. All right, we got season 2 ready to go. The episodes, we have 13 episodes. We have Return of the Shredder. We have The Incredible Shrinking Turtles. We have It Came From Beneath the Sewers, The Mean Machine, The Curse of the Evil Eye, The Case of the Killer Pizzas, which is probably one of the most famous episodes. Enter the Fly.
I always thought it was Attack of the Killer Pizzas.
No.
My whole life, I always said Attack of the Killer Pizzas, but it's The Case of the Killer Pizzas. Which is probably the most famous episode ever.
Yeah, one of the most popular episodes. Answer the Fly, Invasion of the Punk Frogs, Spencer No More, New York's shiniest, Teenagers from the Dimension X, The Catwoman from Channel 6, and Return of the Technodrome. Those are the whole season 2 episodes that we're going to be talking about. I actually, again, I had a lot of fun watching this. I actually found it a lot more funnier and more entertaining now than I was. Even the fuck ups the fuck ups on TV still makes me laugh because like you'll see like Donatello on the screen, but you hear Raphael's voice or you hear Leonardo's voice and you see Raphael talking.
But they'll be sitting there still.
Yeah.
You know, it won't be like somebody talking. It won't be like you'll see them talking in a different voice coming out. You'll just see them sitting still.
Yeah.
Listening to somebody else talking that's not on the screen.
Yeah.
I was also looking at the animation a lot this time, and you can see like a couple blips. You can see like a couple of things that weren't supposed to be in it. Like I don't know. I was really in tune to that because obviously this is like the old school '80s way of doing it. You know what I mean? Which is probably stills with the plastics on top and then having them move. You know what I mean? So
This is the early ages of animation. But yeah, it was
Yeah,
a very
now,
enjoyable season.
no, it definitely was because how else were they really going to introduce the Ninja Turtles to the world of kids? Not all the kids at this time were reading comic books.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
oh no,
so
but
like
they had the whole season before this, and then the arcade game, and the arcade game boomed, and then you had season 1 that boomed, and then this is when you started seeing like the cartoon on 2 different channels, and you start seeing like the toys on shelves, and I think that was the big thing, was the toys on shelves. The toys were a hit. Those things sold out fast, and they kept going and going, and so by this season 2, they had to have the toys ready. So they already launched the first launch of toys. They started a wave 2 of toys. So they had to get this cartoon out. So they had to rush this one out a bit more, just so to keep up with the cartoon and the toys in demand. It's crazy.
This show was specifically made to produce toys. It really, really, really was. especially the second season. You can just tell with like the blimp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that. Like, why are they flying around the town with a blimp that says turtles?
And they're supposed to be ninjas. Like that vehicle itself just like does not read ninja to me whatsoever.
If that's not product placement, then I don't know what the fuck is.
I
you know
wonder
what I
if-
mean? It's like I want that blimp now. You know what I mean? Like
I wonder if like the turtles had like a copyright on their name, and that's the reason why they had the logos on there. And shit.
watch that shit.
Yeah, like it was cool. Like you saw the massive vehicles. You sort of seen the turtle van more, the turtle blimp more. The turtle, again, I still say like the non-ninja vehicle of the all is the blimp, but they use it a lot.
Every time they ran after the opponent they were going, they would yell out "Ninja Turtles!"
Yeah.
I was like, they're like cheerleaders at the same time of being like they're cheering each other on. Like Donatello's getting his ass whooped, right? And they're all standing there, and they're like, "Oh shit, we should go and help Donatello out." Of course you should go and help Donatello out. What the hell is wrong with you? Why are you sitting there watching him get his ass whooped? You're supposed to go and help him out. He's your brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was just little things like that gave it like a quirky. It definitely was of its time. You know what I mean? It really was. I thought it was funny as hell.
So pretty much this had like a premise. So pretty much the Technodrome is stuck in Dimension X. They only had enough power to get Shredder out, so pretty much Shredder is back in the world by himself, and Crane just torturing him the whole fucking time. Just fucking with him. He hires Baxter Stockman to help him out with everything that's going on. That didn't go through great, but basically they're hunting down this crystal, and it has 3 parts of this crystal. So that's pretty much the plot point of this story. Is pretty much he's looking for crystals and shit like that.
Towards the later episodes, there was a couple episodes that had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, but
but then it showed like Shredder was doing something else.
Yeah.
A master plan with it. So it was like, okay, so all this is happening, and then here's a couple of episodes that has nothing to do with that, and then all of a sudden it's right back to it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I actually enjoyed that very much because instead of just a one and done episode where it's like Rugrats, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So perfect time, perfect example, Rugrats or Doug. You know what I mean? Every single episode that you watched was a different episode. There was nothing to it. You know what I mean? There was no continuation unless it was like a to be continued kind of thing. This actually had a full-blown story.
Yeah, so I think all the way up to episode 5, this was all like within the storyline of them getting the crystals and them finding the crystal. And that was pretty much when Baxter Stockman was helping him, things like that. The case of Killer
the crystal
Pizza
came from space. The crystal came from space.
So the case of the Killer Pizzas, which is episode 6, that one kind of went on his own little thing, and that was because Crane made those things and pretty much to put them on pizzas and try to destroy the turtles and everything like that, because they know the turtles love pizza.
Yeah, they were meatballs.
Yeah, the little meatballs, and then they put them on 3 different pizzas. And then if you look at them, they look like the aliens from Aliens, and they're just yellow.
Yeah, they look exact. Well, even the little red ones were the best.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
They're running around and shit.
And then they were like a gremlin because the second that they went into water, they grew bigger.
Yeah,
you know, I understand with gremlins they multiplied, but
Yeah.
It was. I mean, that I swear, watching this, I remember more of the second season than I remembered about the first season. Like the first season, I remembered those the teenagers from Dimension X. I remember that. It's like we're not. Like we're frozen. Whatever his tagline was. There was a couple episodes in the 5 that stood out more, but a majority of this season, I remembered. You know what I mean? I was shocked, like when they were shrunk down and they were really small. Like I remember that episode.
Because those are VHSs.
Yeah, that's exactly that. I was just about to say that. That was the reason why, because I owned a couple of the VHS tapes.
Yeah, that was a VHS, 100%. Especially the Incredible Shrinking Turtles. That was actually one of the Burger King ones.
Yeah.
It was the green one.
I'm trying to remember.
It was green, yellow, and blue. Green, yellow, blue, and red.
There was an episode with a train that crashed, and then there was like a bull and a steer or some shit like that, and they ended up getting conjoined together and became like
that's
the
later
ultimate thing.
That's like
yeah,
late.
But that was on a VHS tape as well with an earlier episode.
Yeah, that was a late season.
I think that was Case of the Killer Pizzas episode.
Yeah, because that one was a lot later. The one with the bull, that was probably I think season 4 or 5.
I remember that, but it was on a cassette. I know for a fact it was on a cassette.
But then again, when you actually got to, if you think about when you actually started watching them on the VHS and stuff like that, you were on maybe the 5th or 6th season.
Yeah. So they probably were just throwing episodes.
Yeah, they used to throw like 3 episodes in one VHS.
Well, because I remember the cover would showcase what episode it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's sort of like, the best way I could describe that was like the Green Ranger miniseries when it came to the Power Rangers. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it was all a continuous story in the line of the Power Rangers, but it was sold individual. You had to buy the first tape, you had to buy the second tape, you had to buy the third one.
That was bullshit.
Up to 5. I know. I had them all too, and then I lost one, and then it was crazy. But like this, I think it was just showcasing like the highest ranked episodes.
Yeah.
For the VHS stuff. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna collect those 5 things.
Yeah. Why not?
It'd be cool. Yeah, man. If you get it in like really good condition, you can like frame it and stuff. It'd be pretty cool. Pretty good. What you call it? Like a showcase piece, I think.
Yeah. But yeah. So this pretty much is So, I'll say that Turtles was like one of the first people to actually have FaceTime.
Yeah. I had that toy.
Yeah, those are cool.
I remember those toys. It looked like a girl who powdered their nose, like the little clip things.
Yeah.
There was one that was like that. I didn't have the other one that FaceTime, but yeah, no, they were definitely ahead of their time.
Yeah. I just like I think just watching these again, like I see the humor, I see the fun in it, and I'm actually really enjoying and watching it with a lot of fun. The fact that, again, I haven't watched these in years, and just seeing like the innuendos and the fucking little adult jokes here and there, and like how Irma's like desperate. She wants Bigfoot's phone number. She wants Donatello's phone number. She wants.
Well, she definitely had more of a role in this season, and as a kid, like I always liked her for some reason. I always thought she was she was just a sucker for love. She just wanted to be loved.
She wanted to be loved, and you wanted to be the one to love her.
I wanted to be the one.
But I actually thought this season was like very creative. Just bringing a lot of the characters. It brings a lot of surprising stuff from the comic books that I was surprised how much they took, like the Mean Machines. That was actually from a comic. One of the comics I read. Enter the Fly. Baxter Stockman was one. The way they brought him in was kind of off a comic, but then again, Baxter Stockman was a little different in the comic book than in the cartoon series.
I just wish he shined a little bit more in the series. He was only in like 2 episodes, like as Baxter, like as the Fly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he comes in later. He's a regular villain, like towards the next seasons or so.
I really enjoyed that episode. I really did.
Yeah, Enter the Fly. So episode 7. I
thought that was an awesome episode. It's one of the top ones.
And then we actually got a few more mutants talking about Baxter Stockman, but we got a few more mutants. We had the Punk Frogs, which was named by Shredder, and Shredder like kind of manipulated them and being his crew, and then the Turtles, they found out the Turtles were as cool as they are, and they teamed up together. But he named them after like evil rulers like Genghis Khan and Napoleon and shit like that.
Yeah, they just wanted to hang out in the damn swamp. You know what I mean? They didn't even know what was going on, and like you said, Shredder manipulated them, and then at the same time they're like, yo, they're just as cool as us, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they should have got their own spin-off series.
Yeah. I liked those characters. I remember the toys as well. I actually had those toys.
I was just gonna ask you if they came out with a toy line.
Yeah, they had all 4 of them. They all were toys. Actually, NECA just announced that they are doing them in 2-packs. All the frogs.
That's what's up.
They're also doing Chrome Dome, he comes in later.
Chrome Dome.
He looks like Shredder, but with ears. It's weird.
Yo, it was so funny when Shredder took off his helmet. I was like, yo, that's not what Shredder looked like in the first season.
My friend told me, yo, he looked like Obama.
Yo, he really did. Yo, I didn't. That's the first time I'm hearing about that, but that is funny. That is some funny shit right there. He looked like Obama when he smoked weed in that photo.
Yeah.
He really did. That's
like Obama. I thought he was supposed to be Asian. He looked like a brother.
But that's not the way he looked in the first season.
No,
you know what I mean?
They kind of gave him. I don't know. Like, you know what? I don't remember.
And what irritates me a lot is the lack of skill that Splinter has fighting. You know what I mean? Like, I think the Shredder whooped ass, bro. Like Shredder, when he actually got down, he fucked them up.
Yo,
you know?
I think one episode that highlighted that, I think it was the Shrinking Turtle episode.
Yeah, when he hops down there at the loading dock.
Yeah.
He hops down and he just whooped their ass. And he was talking mad shit.
Mad shit behind it. He was just like, oh, like he did like a backflip and then kicked one in the head, and he's like, oh, this is all you got? Yo, I was like, yo, Shredder's fucking free.
It sounded like he finally was having fun doing something.
Oh man, I actually really like Shredder. I think this is the season where Shredder, I became like such a big fan of Shredder because he's such a diabolical dude, but he sucks. He's just hilarious.
It's just he doesn't know he sucks though.
Yeah, he tries. He tries his damnedest, but it's just like, dude, you suck.
You see, want to know what also bugs me is that they are found out multiple times in multiple episodes where the Turtles' lair was.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Bebop and Rocksteady are eating Chinese food through the sewer, right? They're walking around in the sewer and they stumble upon, like, no, Baxter Stockman already caught Splinter in the fucking mousetrap, which was the stupidest fucking thing I ever saw in my life, and be honest with you. He goes through the wall, and he's like, nah, nothing can stop this, the mousetrap, and Splinter just runs straight and lets him get caught. Like, bob and weave, bro. You know, and he's inside the mouse. He's like, he's like basically gave up. He's like, I'm caught.
Yeah, this is one thing I will say with Splinter, especially in the first 2 series, is that he's getting Zordon vibes with me.
He's, I held him to a very high standard, and now going back into it, I'm actually very disappointed in Splinter.
Yo, like, he acts like Splinter's supposed to be like 35 years old.
Bro, he acts like he's 80.
He acts like he's 80. He can't walk. He can't do shit. I think it came to a point that he realized the Turtles would do all his biddings, and he didn't have to do shit. So all he had to do was stay in the sewer in his pajamas and not do jack shit.
Like, he gets caught so easily, he's hung up on the wall with little things of rope. You're a fucking ninja, bro. You're a ninja.
Ninja master.
I know, ninja master. And like, it's just so bad. Like, the fights, like, I understand the infancy of the animation in this. Now, keep in mind, animation's been around for a long time. Look at Looney Tunes. They've been around since, what, the fucking 50s?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Their animation in certain scenes, fight scenes, were better than Shredder and Splinter's fight scenes. Because Shredder would be fucking them up. and then Splinter be like, "Not today," and then throw out one like judo chop.
Yeah.
And Shredder would go flying I think that he just manifests all his energy into like 2 hits.
Yeah.
And then he can't do nothing else afterwards.
And then he needs to eat sushi and go meditate.
Yeah, I mean, I actually like the fact that he ate sushi. That was actually a cool thing.
So, one thing I will say with the so far what we got with Splinter is I think this is the worst portrayal of Splinter.
Yeah, well,
because,
I'm not too savvy in the other worlds.
So I know
Splinter.
100%. Like honestly, I say the best version of Splinter, like hands down, is the 2012 series. The 2012 series Splinter was a straight out badass.
I watched the first 10 episodes of that when it first came out.
Yeah.
So he definitely was, from what I recall. Now keep in mind that's 8 years ago.
Yeah.
That I haven't seen it since, but from what I recall, he was pretty badass.
Yeah, and I think he was the best. He was best represented in that show. This one, like again, like I think he just acts older than he actually is. Like he's 35 years old, walking with a fucking cane, and he needs that cane to walk everywhere. He got like bandages on his feet. He always in his robe. He probably naked under that robe too. Like, look, my whole balls.
Let me scratch my balls while they're all out there. You know what I mean? Like the episode when he became a human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he actually preferred to be a rat at the end.
Yeah. He misses
like the whole.
Yeah.
The turtles. The entire a majority of episodes was trying to find a way to get him back to being human.
Yeah, that was a goal of
I mean?
theirs. Yes.
And I think that Splinter was just so lazy that he just didn't want the effort because he knew. Now keep in mind, the man got kicked out of Japan, right?
Yeah.
And moved to New York City and didn't even try. He just moved into a sewer. So that should show a lot. Like I'm starting to really wonder about Splinter. I think that we were we got taken for a ride with him. Like I held him up as like one of the best mentors ever, but he was just words, man. He was no action. He's just as bad. I mean, he does a little bit more than Zordon does, and if you guys follow our other cast of the Morphin cast, we have an ongoing beef with Zordon and stuff like that. So if I were you, I would go and check that out because we definitely do talk a lot of shit about Zordon. I mean, he's not as bad as Zordon, but he's just right there, bro. He gave up on life. He gave up on life. You know what I mean? And then he's like, he becomes a human and he walks around. He's like, and he does whatever he has to do to stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
As a human, he's like, I think I'll just walk through the park.
You know
what I mean? Like,
you know what bothered me? I feel like what happened was that Splinter realized that he gonna have to get a job.
Yeah, it's like he has to support 4 teenage kids. You know what I mean?
And while the turtles literally just steal shit from the people that they fight.
How the hell do they afford all the pizza that they eat?
They steal shit after the people that they fight. They steal money from them. I 100%, like, honestly, in the comic book, they actually explained it. Mikey and Raph fucking steal money from the people they fuck up.
Just for pizza.
No, they just steal money because they need to fucking survive. So they steal money so they can buy food and groceries and shit.
They're vigilantes that need to survive, that need to live.
Exactly. What's fucked up
is there was a couple of episodes where they were shopping. Like the first episode of the season, they were shopping.
Yeah.
Which I really liked that episode. I actually really, really enjoyed that episode with the fake, I forgot the names of them. The evil Ninja Turtles or whatever.
Oh, the crooked Ninja Turtles.
The Crooked Ninja Turtles, they just had bags over their head.
Turtle gang.
Yo, tell me that guy didn't remind you of that mentor in Karate Kid. And
I think that's what they were based. That's exactly what he was based on.
He literally looked exactly like him.
That school was supposed to be like Cobra Kai, and that's where Shredder ran to recruit the guys to be the Crooked Ninja Turtle gang. I actually loved that episode. That was the first episode of season 2. And I actually adored that episode because how cheesy they fucking looked and everything. It was so great.
I thought it was really cool. I actually really liked that episode a lot. And that's when you saw the TV April's boss.
Oh yeah.
He was getting it in with that girl.
Yeah.
He was getting some booty, and the turtles messed it up, and she was like prejudiced against turtles.
Like, I hate turtles.
You're a turtle lover. I'm doing Krang's voice. You're a turtle lover.
Why he became Krang?
Because he's always the one that, like, I tried to do a girl's voice, said Krang's voice just came right out. I can't help it. But she's so prejudiced, like, in a world full of fucking problems. This is the Reagan era we're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's on crack, and fucking AIDS is a problem, and her big deal is she hates turtles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was getting booty in the news studio, though. I noticed that. I peeped that.
Yeah.
She was like, you might as well tell her. He's like, And then she left his ass because he was like, well, that's the truth. Like, he actually owned up to it. You know what I mean? He was like, yeah, that wasn't the Ninja Turtles. He's not Joe Jonah Jameson. You know what I mean? It's like, no matter what he sees, Jonah will always, mark Peter Parker and Spider-Man as a villain.
No, eventually he kind of breaks.
It took him a long time. It took him a long time.
It took him to the point that he realized that his father married his aunt, and then he was like, "Oh shit, I gotta be nice."
I mean, but it took a very long time for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?